I'm going to demonstrate in sitting so you can see me because we're going to do the upper trap and the SEM first. But I would recommend that you, if you can, if you're able to lie down with your head on a pillow or lean back with your head on the pillow so your neck muscles can be relaxed. So the upper trap, and I literally do this almost every day. So my left upper trap is the jerk one that I have to keep an eye on. And you can find it. So if you want to get on skin, if you can, like especially as you're learning to palpate these things. So your upper trap starts behind your neck and comes down and attaches all the way onto your clavicle. So you can kind of trace the muscle, and you want to be almost at the very front. You'll kind of feel the edge of your trapezius muscle where it drops off, and you can pinch the length of the muscle from the side of your neck down toward, in fact, I'm gonna move this here. I can trace and use this kind of pincer grip either with my index and thumb or two fingers. I pinch right at the top, and you kind of have to bring your shoulder up a little bit. If your shoulder's too low, the muscle will be stretched and it's like just too tight to grab it. But I can kind of lift up a little bit and I can get the muscle between my thumb and my fingers. And you'll feel like as you go through and I pinch here, pinch a little closer to the collarbone. And you can find where there's maybe an area that's a bit sore. It might feel a little bit thicker. And once you've got it, and especially if you're laying down, you want to see if you can hold that pressure on there with your head supported. Maybe let your head come a little bit towards it so you're putting it on a little bit of slack. You don't have to, that's optional. And once you've got that kind of feels so good soreness, but not too intense, all you have to do is wait. Just hold that pressure. Don't do anything else to it. Super gentle and sustained. It's enough pressure to know you're in the right spot, but that's about it. You might actually feel some referred pain as you add that pressure to the trigger point up to your head or to the jaw or to other areas of the shoulder blade. You may feel that local twitch response. You may suddenly feel the muscle go like a little twitch. The upper trap is actually one of the easiest muscles on yourself to get that twitch response. If you don't get a twitch response, you may just notice that after 60 or 90 seconds or so, it just feels like it's just not as sore. It's just not as tight. You may feel it kind of soften a little bit. It's usually not this massive release. Unless you get that twitch, then it's like, oof, that's pretty obvious. Everything else, all the other versions are a little more subtle. And then after that 90 seconds goes, you let it go, and then you're done. It's a big muscle. You may have multiple trigger points. So you can kind of, once you've self-treated that one area, you can move your hands a little bit further up, a little further down, and find another area, or you just let it go. That might be enough for the day. You may want to then do a little bit of activation of just that upper trap itself, like just doing a little gentle shoulder shrug just to get some blood flow into that area. Now that you've released the trigger point, it has more more oxygen to it. Give it a couple easy shoulder shrugs. And then afterwards, especially again, if we're laying back on the bed, doing a little gentle isometric of your deep stabilizers. Like we have learned, if you haven't gotten to that in the course yet, but getting your deep neck flexors active, all you need to do then is once you're laying, I'm going to stay sitting just again so you can see me because I'm close to the camera, but we're going to create like the whisper of a nod. And then the very slightest two ways we can either do with a hint of the chin downward just to basically come into that neutral position, shoulder blades back just a little bit, and then allow your head, neck, shoulders to be heavy. So we're not massively pressing back, but it's like just enough to create some tension behind the throat and in the deep stabilizers of the neck, like a very lightweight, gentle ramp up the pressure, a few seconds to come on and come off. So that's very deep, gentle activation of those deep stabilizers of the neck. We also can get that with a nod downward. So the deep stabilizers, they generally create this chin tuck, but we could use a fist or some fingers under the chin, again, like nice aligned ear over shoulder posture, and then create, if your hand can handle it, a very gentle isometric where you're attempting to make a nod, but your hand is giving just a little bit of resistance. Notice the stabilizers behind the throat. So these guys aren't doing anything, your SEM neck muscle, the SEM scalenes, these guys are relaxed. And it's just like the hint of almost going to press down. It'll just almost feel like gentle pressure within the neck behind the throat to get those deep stabilizers firing. So that's the kind of the follow-up after you do your release, right? And you can play, there's also all of the other isometrics that are in the course. So adding like you're going to rotate the neck or a side bend or flex or extend. You can go in any of the directions. That one in particular that I just showed you is specific for the deepest neck flexors, which that tends to be one of the best places to start, but you certainly can get some equal benefit of feeling stable just with these very gentle isometrics in other directions too. So just after you've done the release, and you don't need to spend like hours doing it, but I would do a minute or two. If you spend a minute or two on release, spend a minute or two on a little bit of activation of those deep stabilizers after.